So G,
So
all these private equity groups, they know there's trillions of dollars coming into the marketplace. They know that if they just wait it out, they can buy all these businesses cheap. Do you know 5 out of what was the stat? Like 4 out of 5 public companies won't exist in the next 5 years? Like the huge numbers.
yeah.
Why? Not because they're going out of business, because they're going to go and roll them into other things because they're
going to collapse them.
Trillions of dollars coming, and a small group of people control that money.
Yeah.
But
So when we were in Cabo,
yeah,
and where was that joint we were at?
Chileno Bay.
That place was nice.
Yeah.
That's the first time I hung out with you.
Yeah.
And you said something there when I talked to you about scaling the apartments, and when I pitched to you, look, I'm going to take this, I'm going to get it to 10,000, maybe 20,000 units, and then go to Blackstone. You were one of the, maybe 1 out of 2 people that when I said it, my twin brother was another guy that said, oh, they're going to pay a premium to buy the whole portfolio. And I'm like, well, how big a premium? What do you think? What's a premium they could pay?
Well, you're probably, because of the size, they're going to be looking, teacher credit unions up in Canada are willing to take 3 or 4%. So, you got to think about the fact that there's going to be funds that have already committed to pensions and things where they need to guarantee the cash flow, and they're going to be competing against the private equity groups. So you figure the valuations could get pushed to 3.5 cap rate. What do you think?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, let's say there's 10 billion.
10 billion.
Can they? I think that they pay a 10 or 15 or 20% premium, and then put it in their mixer.
Absolutely, because here's the thing. They only get to charge fees. Here's what people don't understand. They don't get to charge their placement fees or their management fees unless the money's deployed. So they'll come to you and say, hey, Grant, commit $1 million. We're going to draw $250,000 today because we got a deal to put it in. They can't get your other $750. They've got it sitting there knowing.
Wait. So we said we were going to keep it simple, though.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when I said we want to keep it simple?
Well, let's keep it simple.
So what do you mean? They have $1 million with who?
Say an investor commits $1 million.
With Blackstone.
With Blackstone.
Or whoever.
Or whoever.
Bleep.
Yep, bleep. They're going to charge a management fee on that money. So you give the person gives the commitment, and then they normally don't take all the cash in. They draw down on it. So the faster they can draw down on the cash.
Oh, because they have assets to go to.
They got to have assets.
Meaning I would have the asset.
That's
they
right.
just raised $15 billion. They had a $10 billion offer and went to 50% oversubscribed.
That's
50%.
right. So
$5 billion more.
So they're hitting that with a management fee.
Yeah. And I know that if I go to them right now, they're just like, okay, here's $400 million worth of deals. I got to go do another one at 400 and a third one at 400. They'd have to do 10 guys like me.
But when they got that subscription for the $15 billion, most likely they didn't take the $15 billion in today.
They don't take it in until they can fill it with assets.
That's right, and then they get to charge their fees.
Yeah.
So
the faster they get assets,
they need assets
to charge fees. Yeah. So when we were down there, Chilean Bay.
Yeah.
And again, we're probably only going to play this if it works. Okay?
When?
Yeah.
When? When?
If we pull it off.
When?
If we get the big score, the giant score.
When?
Rotten egg smell everywhere.
When?
Like, oh my God.
When?
It's when we both get super rich.
Yeah.
What's super rich to you? What do you think? What's that number? Not to you, but to a person. When does somebody hit super rich, super wealth?
I think you got to be over a couple $1 billion. Like if it's super. Wealthy is probably $1 billion.
What?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Why?
Because that's ridiculous, dude. A couple $100 million is, I think you're wealthy.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, particularly if you're not stupid.
Yeah.
A couple $100 million and you're not spending it, you're investing it.
Yeah.
Like that's wealthy.
You make $10 million a year while it's doing
But what's super rich?
To me?
Yeah.
I think super rich to me is somewhere between 2.5 and 5 billion.
Jesus, man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we were down there, I'm like, okay, hey, dude, if I could get to 10 billion, if I could really get this portfolio to operate,
Well, you will.
and if they paid me
when you do it.
well, I will, right?
Yeah.
Then there's something above the 10. But even if I didn't, and they paid a premium, there's a couple $2 billion. And then what I started thinking about, and you brought to my attention, was all these other companies that come into my ecosystem. Let me see if this is one of them right here.
Yeah, let's get a deal done.
I don't know who this is.
We'll find out. Could be important.
I wish it was an artist for the back part of the wall, because I need something on that wall. I got this one figured out. Sorry, it's so blank behind you.
That's okay. I understand.
I should put a big question mark.
Yeah, that'd be cool there.
And then put Brandon uses big words.
That would be cool.
That'd be funny entry.
Dave would be looking at me like I'm doing something wrong every time I open my mouth.
So, okay, so when you started talking about what you did with your company, when you put all those companies together,
Yeah.
and then you sold it for a multiple,
Yeah.
that greater than really what the market
Yeah, much greater.
would typically allow for.
That's right.
So I'm like, I wonder how many companies I know like that. And you and I formed a partnership, and within how many months? 8 months?
Yeah.
We brought a company into Cardone Ventures. Can I talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
They did 440 last year, 440 million in sales, in revenue.
As the whole group.
It's a group.
Yeah.
So what do you think we take that to? With our influence, our marketing, know-how?
So we've done all the analysis, and it's an emerging market. So I think it's a multi-billion-dollar over the next 60 months. I think it's a multi-billion-dollar deal, of which our piece of that will be, $200-300 million.
What percentage do we get?
We get 25% of the upside.
Okay, so that's the plan. So how does the group feel about, because I could see some people saying, hey, that's a little predator, but they don't see it like that.
No, because they're never going to actualize or realize that. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
They don't even have the
Because
strategy.
they're thinking the same way I'm thinking on the beach over there. Hey, if I could put all this together, it becomes more valuable.
They don't think that way. They think like...
They think about I'm operating my little company.
They think I'm operating my business and I hope it keeps growing.
Right.
The biggest issue with business owners is they don't actually understand how to create that value. So they create whatever value they're building. They look at their business in reverse, where it's at right now and where it started. Oh my gosh, I'm finally here.
Yeah,
We're looking at the
yeah.
business of where it could be in 10 years to absolutely
Right,
maximize
right.
value. And then we're putting the pieces in place to make sure that value is captured. Well, they're getting that value versus them going to private equity to grow, and then they take
Why would they go to private equity?
if they need capital to grow.
Yeah. So let's say the ideal company's what, couple $1 million of revenue?
5 to 10. Actually, for us, an ideal perfect business would be 10 million in revenue. But we'll take businesses as partners down to 5. Because
Well, we would look at somebody doing 2 with a lot of potential and say, hey, let's get you to 5.
and
then we do a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing.
So for them to go from 2 to 5, they're going to have to pay somebody anyway. They're going to have to hire probably a CEO that they don't have. That's going to cost, what's a CEO cost?
At
600?
2.5 million, they're going to try to figure it out to themselves until they get to 5 and realize they everything's breaking. Then they got to go hire an
everything's
executive.
what?
Breaking.
Yeah,
Under the weight of the growth, because they don't know how to manage it. They're
Right.
losing
So they
their
could
good people.
bleed. They could actually make less money on 5 million.
Almost
than on 2
always
million.
they do.
Yeah.
When they go from 2.5, where they're doing everything, to 5 to 7 to 10, somewhere they got to start
That's why
hiring.
a guy says, hey, bigger's not better.
Because
Because he goes from 2 to 7, he's like, there's no money there.
That's right. And the fact is, instead of acknowledging they didn't do it right, or they didn't hire the right people, or they didn't understand how to do it, they blame the opportunity. For you and I to take, here's the thing, the big play, how we're
Dude,
gonna,
I was hung out at $3 million for 20 years.
That's right.
And I had to 2008 is what, if it wasn't for 2008, I wouldn't have given up on the 3 million. Because I was like, I hated it so much, but I was like imprisoned, a prisoner to it. And then when the economy crashed, I'm like, oh my God, man, this doesn't work. I'm susceptible to problems at every juncture. And then when I came out of that thing, I just went crazy because I was scared. so I started figuring out other spaces to be in. It was the first time I actually moved into this whole kind of 10X, the leverage you're talking about being in these other companies. So when you said that down in Cabo, I was like, oh man, if we could do this.
Well, you know, most business owners that find that kind of success have a scenario like what you went through, and that scenario either breaks them or it makes them. And you and I can eliminate the need for that catastrophic scenario. That's what we bring to that equation. There's trillions of dollars that are looking for homes.
Yeah.
How you and I are going to get super, super rich, we're going to make our partners, the people that join us and trust us, super rich. Because we're going to give them access to capital they will otherwise never have access to.
So let's say they're doing 10 million.
Yep.
We take a company from 10 million to
100.
90 million new money. How much do we make off of the 90 million?
We're going to make 25% of the value difference.
Oh, okay. The value
Difference.
because we're going to exit, or
Say
because
they're
of the
worth-
income of the company?
Income of the company while it's growing,
Yeah.
which fuels us throwing more resources at it.
Yeah.
Because we're partners, right?
Yeah.
What we don't have, though, is what all the private equity guys have. You know, the typical business will get to 10 or 12 or 15. Then they'll access either debt or private equity to hire executives to come in and help grow the business and buy systems. And the first couple rounds of that never work because they don't know how to do it. And then the private equity guys take that asset. So the private equity guy will buy 30% of your business.
This is when the guy tries to go on Shark Tank.
That's right. Well, Shark Tank would be for startup guys.
Yeah, right.
But the private equity guys you'll come in and say, I want growth capital. They'll give it to you. What they don't tell you is, yeah, we're only buying a third of your business, but we get a guaranteed 18 to 22% per year on our money. It's called a ratchet or cram down. If you don't hit your valuations, we get our money before you get anything. The average business owner is so excited to finally get this cash to do something. 85% of the time, they don't get anything out of the deal. They end up spinning it. The private equity
They end up
takes it,
working for the devil.
and then they go start another business because
Yeah.
they're so pissed off. That
Yeah.
happened to me in my first company. That's exactly what happened.
You know, there's an old saying, God saves money and the devil invest. You know that saying?
No, but I understand it.
God saves money and the devil invests. I feel like those guys, that's why the Goldmans and the Blackstones, I've always left them alone because I know they're going to dictate the rules on me. So when you said this down in Cabo, I was like, okay, so I have this like 35,000 businesses were at the growth conference.
Yep.
Let's say only 2% of them.
That's 700 businesses.
700 legit
businesses. And I met a bunch of them there.
business owners.
10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million.
Yeah.
And you're helping them every day.
So 2% makes me want to smoke a cigar. My favorite cigar.
Good news is I have one too.
I got to get a, Johnny, we got to get a ionizer and a, you know. What if Arnold comes in here and says, I want to smoke a cigar?
You got
And
it.
I'm like, dude, I don't have a filter here.
What if you say you want to smoke a cigar?
I'm ready right now.
Yeah, well, I don't
So-
think we should.
So don't tempt me. You know me. So let me just do the math on this on my little stick right here.
Yeah.
So if I have 700 companies,
Yeah. Say they average
this would be
$1
worth
million bucks each.
This would be worth. This is like how you guys make money on on those conferences you do.
Yeah.
How do you make sense of spending $10 million on Marlin Stadium? I'm like, I'm just an idiot. Right? Because those 700 businesses, none of those 700 businesses have ever been to an event like that. So there's no way guys aren't walking in and saying,
I mean, I've had big companies. I've never been to an event like that.
yeah. Yeah, so 700 companies, and let's say we did business with, what's a percentage?
5% of it
2% of the entire room.
is 700.
And 5% of the 700
Is
means we would
35.
do 30 businesses with 35 companies.
That's right.
What do you think that they would do
I
average?
think,
10 million?
No, say of those 35 businesses, just put a 5 million average.
Okay, so that's $105 million.
That's right.
No, that's $175 million of income.
Of revenue. Yep.
Yeah, and we think we could take that to 1.7 billion.
Yep.
Because we want to 10x the company.
And we get 25% of it.
Now, but let me ask you this: 1.7 billion. But if we put all these
Yeah, we put them all in
companies
a
together
That's
in one fund. Now that's where you
super
freak me
rich.
out. That's where I got my little. That's where I told Elena. I said, Elena, we're going to get super rich. So talk about the goal would be to take the 10. No, how many now?
Yeah, all of them. None of those
5% of 35 is what?
5% of 35 is 1.75.
Yeah, right. So we would take all that revenue and put it on one profit and loss statement, and then go to.
None of those people have access to the public markets. Even if we 10x them, they're too. I mean, they could sell to private equity or to somebody else.
We would take basically 35 profit and loss statements, 35 companies.
Amalgamate
if
them.
they were similar.
That's right.
Amalgamate.
Now we have a $3.5 billion.
What's amalgamate mean?
Put them all together.
Put them all together.
Now
Why can't you just say that?
Sorry. Now we have.
Put it on the wall. Brandon uses big words.
So
and all I want to do is get super rich.
So you got how many businesses there?
I got 35 companies.
All we've grown them to 100 million each. So now we're doing what? 3.5 billion.
Okay.
Now that whole group, we put them together and go public.
Yeah. What's that worth?
That group's probably worth about 3.5 billion. Probably worth about 7, somewhere between. You got to figure if they're earning 20%.
15 billion. We get 25% of the upside.
30. Let's say 3.5 billion.
Yeah.
So 10% of 3 is 350 million. 20% is $700 million times 20. What's 700 million?
What times
that's
20?
That's 15 billion. Because that's what they're going to trade at as a public.
15 billion. And we would be entitled. First of all, other companies.
Well, I want to make a point
These companies
here.
now are worth.
As a group, we're worth.
Well, these companies are now
billion.
worth. Yeah, but I just want to be sure the company did well.
Well, no, I want to make something clear. They're going to be able to sell 10% of their company when we go public for what they would have sold 100% of their company for.
Wow.
We're going to make them super wealthy. Unbelievable.
They're going to make more money than we did.
They will make a lot more money than we will.
Yeah.
And they'll be
but
happy with what we're making.
Yeah,
but they're going to be happy because we're going to make 25% of 15 billion, which is, remember I told you, 3.5 billion.
Yeah, why would Blackstone do this? Or why would a big group, Goldman, or like who's some of the players? JP Morgan?
All of them. Yeah. JP Morgan, KKR. In fact, KKR already proved this. You know, KKR benchmarked themselves against Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway invested in companies and always held them. KKR did the traditional. They invested and sold them out every 5 years. They came back and said, had we held all of our companies, we would have been bigger than Berkshire Hathaway. So now what they did is now they hold the companies and they took KKR public. They're doing the same thing Berkshire, but Berkshire's private. They went public. Why? Because these businesses...
Well, they're converting real assets to paper.
That's right.
And that's where they make their little...
And all those,
and
all those financial institutions that need to charge fees, the private equity guys and the money managers that are charging mom and pop to put their... We just got off a call with someone that's going to put $500,000 in Cardone Capital.
Dude, but if we make 25% of that, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
I'm getting excited right now.
Yeah, that's that $3.5 billion I told you about.
$3.5 billion.
No cost of capital.
And while we're doing it, all the services provided here.
We're getting 25% of the upside in cash flow.
Boot camps.
And we get a percentage management fee. It's a home run for the business owners because they won't find any private equity group.
It's a grand slam for them.
Grand slam. And they have partners that are fully vested all the way through the life cycle versus just trying to make fees on them and sell them off. This is a home run.
How long does it take us to do this?
I think
it's a grand slam for all of us.
I think it's a grand slam for everybody. Personally, for me, I think it's somewhere between a 60-month and 84-month deal. It's a 5 to 7 year deal.
I need to do this now. I want a yacht. What are you going to do with your money?
I'm going to roll it into
You're going to buy a house,
Capital.
another house? How many houses?
No, I'm going to roll it into Cardone Capital. This is all legacy now.
Yeah.
I have enough houses. This is about how much can we win together for me. It's
How much Chanel can I buy Elena, though, before it's like enough?
all she wants. In fact, Elena might be in on this deal with 10X Ladies. She'll be bringing businesses to us. She'll have her own money. She won't need you to buy her Chanel. She'll buy her own.
She'll probably leave me.
She won't leave you, dude. I know you're afraid of that because she's such a strong woman. But you're a good guy. Deep down inside,
That's so ridiculous.
you're a good guy.
I said that's so ridiculous. What am I referring to? I'm a good guy, or she'll leave me?
That she'll leave you.
It's ridiculous.
I know, it's ridiculous. She'll never leave you.
Dude, I don't know why. Like, if somebody had come to me and said, hey, I want 25% of your business.
Oh, your upside.
No. I want 25% of your upside. You're doing $2 million right now. I'll take you to $20 million. I don't take you to $20 million. I don't get any of that. That's right.
No, if
you get
we
something,
don't have
I'll
growth,
pay something.
If you don't
I'll
have
pay
growth,
whatever. What we charge?
We charge a management fee. Depends on the size of the business.
Well, I got management fees already.
And in 36 months,
What do I get for the management fee?
You get all of us doing your strategy. We run board meetings with you. We do your long-term planning. We teach you everything we know. You got you and me and Mike Halloran, the CFO. You got everybody working on behalf of that business on a fractional basis.
So ideally, we're looking for companies. I want to know when I go do my conferences, getting ready to go do these 7 cities. I'm looking for companies that do $2 million
or more.
So we'll put them in a percolator.
Yep.
With the goal to get them to 5 and then 10.
Yep.
5 to 10 though, somewhere between 5 and 10, we're interested in
partnering.
In it being a partner. Providing what? What are we providing there?
We do
cash.
We don't provide any
Debt.
cash because most of those businesses.
We could though.
We could, but we don't need to. They don't need it. It's just pressure on the business. A lot of these guys are making money. They just don't know how to. They don't know how to hire people. You know what happens is if you're a $5 million business, you're hiring people that have skills below you. Mm-hmm. If you brought people in that had skills at 50 million, they're going to bring you up. What we bring to the equation is we immediately elevate up. Long-term planning, short-term planning, how to hire the right people, how to onboard the right people, how to align them with the business, all the things they don't know anything about. And we're seeing that in 6 months.
Where to get debt.
Where to get financing.
Talking about it, don't go get equity right now. You don't need it.
You don't need it.
Right.
Because the only reason they get equity is to go hire people to come in and help them grow. Well, they've got us. They've got the highest.
How to market. How do you even get known in the marketplace?
That's right. Why wouldn't you go hire
I see these companies spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on things like logos and mission statements. What are some mistakes you see?
All those mistakes. Those businesses that go out and spend all that money, the business owners' own employees can't articulate the value proposition. All they need to do is come to Deep Dive for a weekend. We'll teach them all that. They make the whole growth cycle so complex, and they end up trying to pay other people to figure out the problems for them. And they cycle through all this money, and they try to get a look and a feel, but they can't even articulate what their big picture or big purpose is. Then they get to a certain size, and they just get stuck because everything becomes hard. What you and I do,
that's what happened
with
to me,
the team, we break it all out.
Yeah.
Get rid of all that. It's trying to do it yourself, or do what you said to me when you pinched my belly over there and you said, dude, you're fat.
Yeah.
You need to get in shape. So I have 2 choices.
Did that help you?
Of course it helped me, because I'm a competitive guy. And although at the time I laughed and said whatever, I never lost that
When
moment.
you get $1 billion, are you gonna get fat?
No, I'll never get fat again.
I hated being fat.
Because I want to be.
I hate being fat. I hate looking at fat. Like
I feel so much better about everything when I wake up in the morning, and I'm 30 pounds lighter, and I'm going to do another 10 off. But you're a great example there, right? I think what people are not willing to do is submit to the competition. They're not willing to submit. They'd rather justify it instead of say, you know what, fuck it. I do want to be like that, or I do want to look like that, or I do want to be able to buy a jet.
I hate Grant for telling me the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plan is I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
I'm gonna call out all companies making $2 million and saying, hey, let me know you're making $2 million. And what's a fit? Like, what's a perfect company? I know chiropractor is great. Dentist would be great.
My attitude is anybody who's figured out how to get to 2 million, because we're looking for the person. If they scrap their way to 2 million, then we can take them to 2 million. It doesn't matter what they're doing.
Digital's good.
Doesn't matter what
the
they're
digital
doing.
space.
Why wouldn't digital people want to learn from the digital king? Like it doesn't make any sense to me why. You're the king of digital, and you have a whole asset base here of people that know how to do everything every day. Why wouldn't somebody want to have that as their partner?
Car dealer? Would a car dealer be good?
Rob Ruth's a car dealer, and he's up 51% since working with us last 6 months. Plumbers are fabulous. Anybody who... Roofers are great. Everybody. If they're at 2 million or more, we can take them to the next level. There's no question. And even if they're just breaking even.
We'll create a landing page or something for if they go to we'll figure out what that is, and I'll send the traffic to the page, and then maybe we get them to fill out a questionnaire, honest questionnaire? What their income is, how many employees? What would you want to know?
Well,
how long they've been in business?
How long they've been in business? What's
their gross revenues?
How many employees? How much profit? How much are they paying themselves? That's basically,
most of them aren't paying themselves anything.
Well,
guys, they got to make $2 million a year. What'd you pay yourself? Nothing.
Yeah, some are like that. Some are like paid myself $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000. They don't have money to invest in the business. They can't hire professional guidance and advice where we come and we wrap.
Well, you didn't make $2 million. If you didn't pay yourself anything and you made $2 million and you can't hire other people,
yeah, you don't have any money.
Like you didn't really make $2 million. No,
the business generated $2 million.
They're paying taxes on. They pay $1.2 million in taxes in California, and the guy won't pay himself. I'm like, dude, why wouldn't you pay yourself? Like, it's not like you're Elon Musk. You're not a rich person.
I think here's the thing, Grant. How we're going to get super rich, going back to the bigger picture, even if they're doing 5 or 10 or 30 million or 50 million, they'll never have access. They still, unless they're $500 million to $1 billion, and even then they might only be worth 12 times their earnings. If they're in with us, the bigger, and we put it all together, we're going to be worth 20 to 25 times on the public markets. Going it alone.
Why 20 times?
Because that's what public companies trade at, 22 times earnings. Private companies trade between 3 and 10 times.
22 times of what?
Of what they earn as a group.
Gross revenue or earnings?
No, profit.
EBITDA.
EBITDA.
Yeah.
And those same businesses will trade somewhere between 1.5 to, by themselves, 1.5 to maybe 8.5 times EBITDA. So just by being part of our group, they're worth 2.5 to 3 times more. Same as your real estate play. And here's the beautiful part. There are competitors out there that...
Dude, we could do a deal. I could take the real estate and this play.
And put it all together. That's exactly. That's what the
So
big,
I got 35.
let's
say we got those 35 companies that are doing how much on my sticks here?
A couple billion.
$3.5 billion.
Yeah.
And I got the $10 billion real estate.
We have $15 billion portfolio.
Yeah.
We don't need the Blackstones. We will become them. Because if you think about...
So could we paper that?
Yeah, you paper all of it.
To turn it all into stock? And bring it to grandma?
That's the Cardone Global Equity Group.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be sick.
I already own the domain because that's where we're going.
I've seen these guys floating around in yachts in Miami. You see them everywhere. Yeah. You been down to the boat show?
No.
You got to go buy this thing. Go down Collins. You'll see these 150-foot yachts, 200-foot. I'm like, that's $200 million. My plane, like they're spending $3 and $4 and $5 million a year. I think somebody said $200 million. They'll spend about 2 to 3% of the price of the boat.
To run them.
To run it every year.
I've got a buddy that owns a 240-foot yacht, and he's worth $7 billion. You know how he got his money?
Oh yeah, Dick.
Putting all his companies together.
Yeah.
Putting companies together and not selling them. Why would we, if we have a real estate portfolio that's worth $10 billion?
So what do? You go to the banks. You go
put them all together, and then you paper it, and then it's worth materially more than just holding it by yourself.
Yeah.
You know why? Because there's all these people that want to get 3 and 4%.
These guys aren't any smarter than us, man.
They're not. They just are using other people's money. You know what the difference is between you and I?
They're not using other people's money like they're getting money from people.
They're getting investors to put money in. They just had more time than you. You've raised $300 million. You've raised more money from crowdfunding than probably anybody in the universe in the shortest period of time. They're using wealthy people's money because the rules just changed. They don't know how to play your game. So you're doing the same thing for all the non-wealthy people that never had access to this big, huge lumping all this together. You're bringing the value that big investors have been getting for years to the average investor. I don't think people understand that. You're putting them in a position to where they're going to be treated like the really wealthy.
It's better for me because I don't have to deal with these guys.
That's right. We would
but if we could go to them, you're saying we wouldn't sell to a group. We become the group.
We take the whole thing and do it.
That would be the biggest score of my life. Forget the money. Forget getting super rich. That would be the biggest Because I've always had a little chip on my shoulder. You notice? Yeah. Can you still see I have one?
I think the reason I was attracted to you is because you have the same chip I have.
Yeah, what chip is that?
I feel like I have way underplayed my potential.
So many people have counted me out too. Yeah. So many people have underestimated, starting with me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go do this thing, all right?
We're going to do it.
So we'll throw this in the archive somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe wake up in a decade. How long you think? It's 2020 right now. I give ourselves, let's give ourselves until, what's a good date?
No.
2040.
Jesus, I was going to say 2025.
Fuck you, Johnny.
I think
2025, dude, or sooner.
I think that's a good number. 2025 is when we have the ability to
2023, because I need to run for president in 2024.
That's true.
I need fucking $3 billion to do that. You know? I'm running as a Democrat too, folks.
Hey, the other thing.
The next John
No,
Kennedy.
he isn't.
Oh, yeah, I'm running as a fucking Democrat, dog. Okay? I am one of the people. Okay? You
don't scream Democrat.
I don't?
No.
You don't? I don't seem like a Democrat, dude. I'm for everybody, dude. Like,
it's true.
Like, I love people of color. I love men. To me, I don't even see that.
I don't think.
And I got guys that do. I got guys. Look, I'm not a country club guy.
Yeah.
See, you're good in the country club. That's why we're going to be such a good. It's going to be a good fit.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend once, and I said, I really should join a country club. I lived in Houston at the time, and she's like, why? And I said, because there's intelligence, there's money, there's da-da-da. And she's like, that's not you. You will not. You're so not country club, Grant. She's like, save your money.
Yeah,
save
you probably get thrown out at some point.
Exactly. You get along. You get along great in those environments.
Yeah.
So what you could do is you could join the club.
Yeah,
you can be that guy.
I don't need it anymore.
5 country clubs?
Yeah, I've been a member of 5 clubs for probably 15 years, 10 years.
Crazy. Well, I'll visit your clubs.
Yeah.
And I'll be the guy, when I leave, they'll be like, don't bring him back again.
Yeah.
Remember that place we went to in Australia?
Yeah.
I wasn't even there one whole fucking day, and the people were like, please.
Why is he here? Yeah.
No more. It's not that he's American. It's that he is who he is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get super rich, okay? I love that, dog. I love that. I mean sick rich.
I agree.
Okay?
100%.
I'll buy the yacht. I'm serious. One of my dreams has been I am going to have
Why can't
one
we partner?
day. Huh?
Why can't we partner on it?
Because I don't want you sleeping in bed, dude.
I won't sleep in your bed. We'll just have a custom yacht.
I
that
want
has
the
2
fucking
kings.
master.
We'll have 2 masters. Why can't we build
it can't
2
be 2
masters?
masters. You know what's worse than one bad master? 2 good ones. I want to be like, this is my motherfucking ship.
Yeah.
We go in here. And then we start fighting. You want to one weekend. No, dude, we should have enough money. We ought to both have them. Take them out there and race,
side by side.
Racing at 17 miles an hour. And then to find out, dude, we didn't. Neither one of us needed this.
One of the
anyway, I probably wouldn't do that. I'm going to give all the money to charity.
Yeah. So
I just want the score, man.
I tell you, I want to help all those people. The thing that gets me off is
so many families would be.
So many people. I've had the joy of helping hundreds of business owners and change their lives. And you do this every day. That's why people love you. The haters hate you because they won't give you an opportunity.
No, because I make jokes about I want a big yacht. I don't have anything big in my life now. We have 2 cars. Yeah. We have 2 cars. I got a plane, but I use the shit out of that plane. Yeah. Like everybody thought that plane was like bragging rights, and then they see me bang it. This week, Phoenix, San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, Las Vegas. That's the first 17 days of the year. 19 countries last year. Like that ain't a toy. That's me working.
Yeah.
I was with Tata in Dubai. Were you in Dubai with me?
No.
And anyways, like, dude, you use the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
Like that's not a show off piece. You just bought a jet. I know you're going to be showing off.
You know why? No,
it's going to be a show off piece for you for sure.
You know why I bought a jet?
You belong to 5 country clubs, dude.
You know why I bought a jet? Yeah, but nobody would know that if I didn't tell them.
Yeah.
I bought that jet because I'm trying to keep up with you. Because we got big things to do.
Dude, all you had to do was get on mine. I'd bring you everywhere.
Dude, I can't get on yours because you're not going to Clearwater on Monday. You're going to be out of town.
I'd have taken you there, man.
But
all you had to do was ask.
You're not coming back to get me. You got your mission.
Whatever. Let's just let that be a rounding error.
I think one other thing for our archives.
Yeah.
We will have Cardone Global Equities. It'll be private equity.
Dude, I wasn't
real
thinking
estate,
about that. I wasn't thinking
and
about
we're
that.
going to raise.
I wasn't thinking about
out of
that.
the box. We're going to put a $3.5 billion raise.
So we'll be on New York.
globally.
We'll ring the bell.
No, I'm talking about previous
Private.
to this.
Private.
We're going to raise $3.5 billion globally out of somewhere other than here, and that money will be earmarked for business investments, startup investments, and real estate. Because there's a whole bunch of people in Europe and other parts of the
Every
country.
time I go over there, man, will you invest in my business? I got some land deal. I got an apartment deal. I got a hotel deal. And I'm like, no, I'm not there right now.
I have the domain Cardone Global Equity Group, and in about
I wonder how many
months,
URLs are owned out there by other people. If you guys bought a URL with my name on it, send me an email. Peter@grantcardone.com. That's my URL email. Peter@grantcardone.com. Peter@grantcardone.com. Tell me what URL you grab, what 10X is on it, or Cardone or something. Send it to me.
whoever's grabbed the absolute best URL.
Yeah, what? What? Yeah.
Whoever, if you go and tell us what you got,
Yeah.
whoever has the best URL, we'll give you $10,000 for it.
Okay. Good.
It's got to be the best though.
Okay, so let's go. Let's plan a time in Vegas at the 10X Growth Conference. Let's do some kind of. I got 11,000 people there.
Why don't we have this conversation on the stage?
Yeah, we should. 11,000 people.
Let's let everybody.
How many of them are
insight.
business owners? You think?
I think we got a chance at somewhere between 1% and 2%.
Yeah.
So somewhere between 110 and 220 business owners.
11,000 times. What do you think was in the room?
I think between 1% and 2%. So it's 110 to 220.
Yeah, could be 2,200.
That's 10%. Yeah, I mean it could be as high as
2,200 of them. 2,200 times 4%. 88 of them make over $1 million. Okay, let's do it. Let's get super rich. I'm ready. I'm ready,
and we're
freaking
going to.
Stupid Forbes rich.
Yes.
Too many other guys have done it.
My stepdad's at 2. He just made it 2 years ago. He's $2.5 billion.
Yeah.
Why
Why do so many ugly people make it onto the Forbes list?
Because they're not scared. They've been all their life. They were told they're ugly, and no one gave them any attention. So they're like, "Fuck it."
But the question is,
if
have
you're
you ever
ugly,
seen an
if
ugly
you're
billionaire?
ugly and you want all the best things in life, including the hot chicks, you just become a billionaire. It's easy.
Have you ever seen an ugly billionaire?
Yes.
I haven't.
You haven't?
Jeff Bezos is more attractive today than he was 25 years
He
ago.
looks like you. He's whatever you're doing every day, he's doing. He's in great shape compared to what he looked like 10 years ago.
I'm his trainer.
He probably watches you and thinks that motherfucker looks better than me, so I'm going to get my shit together.
I respect that dude.
I respect it too.
Elon. I respect Elon.
Yeah,
Fucking Elon's a killer, dude.
I agree.
These guys. I just like it just to know that guy took all the money from PayPal.
And poured it
All
into
of it
something that could have gone
into
to zero.
3 deals.
Yeah.
Said I'd rather invest this money. When I read that, I was like, I've read that probably 7 times, maybe 8, maybe 17. Every time I read it, I'm inspired by it. Took all the money from a score and invested it in 3 ventures that could go to zero.
Yep.
It's guts. Okay, let's get rich. Okay, I'm sick of this other life.
I agree.
And then I just want to bang the bell. I just want to bang the bell and say, hey,
will
man,
bang the bell.
fucking did it.
You'll bang the bell on the New York Stock Exchange.
And then
That's when
I
you
know
can say
a
did it.
charity I'm going to set up that will pay for 200 years before I could exhaust the money every month. You know, every charity I've ever done any work for said, hey, what we need more than just one lump sum, we need money we can depend on it coming in every month to take care of our bills and our growth and our inflation. And I really, not just the one big give by one guy, but something planned out.
Yeah,
for
most of
long
those people
periods
don't
of
know
time.
how to manage that money anyway. So if you take the profits, percentage of the profits that are made off of the big boom and roll it into something that'll last forever.
Let's put this in one of those capsules and put it in the ground until 2024. 2023. Got 3 years, bro. Let's roll. 2021.
And what do you want
22.
him to do with his footage?
Huh? Put it in the same capsule.
You don't want any of it out, right?
Oh, man. Bury it, man.
So we have our copy. They have theirs.
Okay.
We're going to do it. No hesitation. Don't forget your not on water bottle. Yeah. Where are we smoking?
Thanks, Donnie.
Thanks, Shane.